Check 1, 2.
Hello.
What's going on, Cody?
Hi, Cody.
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
That's right.
We're up and running on the live stream, everybody. We're getting hooked up to the radio station. We're ready to go when you are.
That'll work.
Sounds good.
Just timed that about right then, didn't we? You can take a break during pregame then, the song.
What's that?
I was going to ask Dan, are we going to take a break during the pregame? Okay.
I already see a problem, Mike. I don't have a 35 on my roster, and they have a 35 as a tight end. Does Keith know? I'll check it out. All right. Oh, welcome everybody, St. Paul to Miles Field. Dan Vitt alongside Mike McCracken. We're tonight our own St. Paul Indians welcome in Waverly here tonight. Beautiful nice night for football here, Mike, here at Miles Field in St. Paul.
Yep, it's going to be fun tonight. St. Paul coming in here on a good note. They've had a good run all season long and haven't played a full game, as a matter of fact, all season long. They've been that good, and especially last week and the week before, they've really come around and put together both offense, defense, and special teams, and they got everything working just like it's supposed to at this point in the season. Weather tonight is football weather. It's cool. The wind's really not a factor. Flags hanging straight down on the flagpole, so it's just a perfect night for football, and that'll be a lot of fun.
It's a beautiful night for football. A lot of the players have long sleeves on, but really, 45 degrees here. It's supposed to get 32 for a low tonight, so it'll get a little cooler as the night goes on. The field looks to be in excellent condition. We've had Mr. Rain the other night, so it should be a little bit drier than last Friday night. 2 home games in a row here. Week 9 was at home last weekend, where St. Paul handled Hartford 64-0, and Waverly comes in on the season 6-3. They're on a 4-game win streak, and they got by Marmaton Valley 62-14 last Thursday night also, Mike.
Yeah, Waverly, playing up there in that up around Emporia in that area. They play Lebo and some of those schools, so they've had a tough schedule this season. This will be a good test for the Indians to see how they're going to be able to compete going forward here. And we mentioned that last game and the game before as well, that it doesn't get any easier from here on out. Everybody's going to be a stiff competition, and St. Paul last week maybe got a little bit of a reprieve and able to kind of get out of that one on a kind of a lopsided score, but you start getting now, we've only got 2 rounds now before the state championship, so whoever shows up here or wherever we go, it's going to be a football game.
Waverly comes in, as I said, 6-3. Their lone 3 losses, 2 of those losses was the first 2 games of the season against Lebo and Madison, and their third loss was against Center. All three of those teams very good football teams with very good records. So you don't want to look anything into the record at this point. It's one and done. If you win, you move on. If you lose, you're done, Mike.
Yeah, pretty well-rounded team as you look down the Waverly roster. They got some size, got some experience on the team. It looks like they got about 5 freshmen is all, but several seniors. Looks like 3 or 4 senior leaders. We'll see if they're starters or not, but I got to think that the seniors on the team are going to be the leadership for the Waverly Bulldogs. And St. Paul, on the other hand, same story. Adam Albertini all season long has produced and just kept producing, putting up big numbers. We'll look for him to do the same thing tonight. But he's also got pretty good support cast around him with Easton Dent, who really has shown that he can move to that running back position this year and make a big difference in some ball games, especially when Adam had a couple games there where he was tweaked up a little bit and down. Easton Dent really stepped up. So St. Paul, kind of a multi-weapon offense now, really.
Yeah, Adam Albertini, as you alluded to, Mike, comes in with 53 touchdowns on the season. That's offense, kickoff, return. Adam's total yards in the season has been hindered a little bit. A couple of reasons. One, that St. Paul has just dominated their opponent in halftime scores, and he's only, I forget what it is now, but I heard it this week, of how many quarters he's actually have those 53 touchdowns and how many yards he has, but it's only about half as much playing time as every other running back in the state of Kansas. But also what has hurt his yards as far as offense is he has multiple touchdowns in kickoff returns and punt returns, Mike.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, Dan. That really magnifies just how valuable and how good Adam is playing, because he's right up there at the top of the state in any conference or any level, any class in touchdowns. But you got to remember, when you look at that, all those other guys have been playing full games, and Adam hadn't played a full game yet this year. So that really, magnifies his value, and it also magnifies just how fast and how hard it is to bring him down, and what a weapon he is, like you said, on special teams as well.
I heard the question asked this week to Adam Albertini on a radio program, Mike, whether they would be favored here against Waverly, and whether it's easy to overlook an opponent, and he quite rapidly put that down and said they was very goal-oriented, and they was focused for this week and ready to play. Waverly has a very good program, coming in. They're just not this year just good. They're good every year, and they come in that tough league, as you alluded to earlier, that Lyons County League. So no overlooking here. I think the Indians are very focused.
Yeah, and Adam, does a good job. He's been on under the spotlight and been involved in some interviews preseason. He was on the cover of the preseason magazines, and then had some radio interviews, some newspaper interviews. And he's a smart kid, as are all the Indians. That's another thing that the Indians have going for them. They're smart football players, and that comes through coming up through Coach Watrick's system, all the way from Pee Wee football up through junior high. They really learned the game, and that's what's made a big difference and made Adam so good, as well as Easton Dent and the rest of the players, that they understand their position, they understand the rules of the game, they understand what they need to do and how to stay out of trouble. So it's really good for them to be able to do that.
We're going to go ahead and take a break here for the national anthem. When we come back from that break, we'll go over starting lineups and our pregame and our what the Indians have to do to be successful here tonight. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Indian Football on Hot 105.
Region State playoff game. The winner of this contest will advance to the sectional playoff game on Friday, November 17th.
Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, Kansas, on a beautiful night for football here at Miles Field, where tonight St. Paul 9-0 comes in to play Waverly, who comes in at 6-3 on the season. Mike, want to give a shout out to Farmers Bank for bringing us the live stream.
Absolutely.
Mike, you may tell everybody how to get hooked up to that live stream.
Yeah, we really appreciate Farmers Bank stepping up and making sure that the playoffs are available. It's a little different than during the regular season, but they were happy to do that, and we're proud to have them as a sponsor. If you care to try to join us on the live stream, feel free to do that. Log on to the internet, log on to KKOY, the radio station website. That's found at hot1055.net. Once you get to the website, scroll down the page, you'll find St. Paul Indian banner. Click on the banner and take you right to the YouTube page. Should see a list of football games that we've done in the past, and the top one, or one of the top couple of them, should have a little red light in the corner that says live. That'll be the one. It also should say St. Paul versus Waverly. Click on that, have it right there on your computer or your TV screen if it's hooked up to the net, and you can enjoy this just like it's Monday Night Football, Dan.
And starting lineups for the Waverly Bulldogs as they go over them here tonight. We'll give them to you in just a minute. Number 72, number 10, Blake Wilson, a 146-pound sophomore, gets the start for Waverly, as well as Ty Pope, a 155-pound senior. Number 21, Damian Foster, a 164-pound sophomore. Number 32, Josh Rodriguez, a 181-pound junior. Number 25, Jolon Lacey, a 178-pound senior. Christian Decker is a 169-pound senior. And number 72, Zach Skillman, is a 225-pound junior. And to round out the starters for Waverly, number 88, Lane Bartley, a 145-pound sophomore. And for the Indians, it's going to be our normal starters, the senior loaded team, 3 seniors on the team for Waverly. And for the Indians, as they go over the starters here, Mike, I'm not sure I have them yet, but it's going to be Adam Albertini, a 5'9", 175-pound senior. Work down through here. Easton Dent, number 34, a 6', 205-pound senior. Number 55, Gib Carter, 5'9", 220-pound senior. Ethan Stoking, number 61, 6'2", 240-pound junior. Number 64, Ivan Murillo, 6'2", 230-pound junior. And Chase Bradshaw, 65, a 6'2", 190-pound senior, as well as Chandler Bradshaw, 6'2", 185-pound senior.
Yeah, one of the neat things about that, Dan, it's been a while since St. Paul's had some size, and as you go down that list there, especially up front, everybody up front's over 200 pounds, and that's really something St. Paul in the past has had to play without those big guys. They've had some athleticism and some speed up there, relied on that to get them through, and it's worked fairly well. But this year, that's another reason, and Adam Albertini be the first one to tell you that he really appreciates what those guys up front do, because they really allow him to get loose and get out in space where he can make things happen.
St. Paul will start out by receiving the opening kickoff. I don't know if that means St. Paul won the toss. They didn't signal that anybody deferred, so I assume St. Paul won the toss, and they will take the opening kickoff as we are set to get underway here tonight on a beautiful night at Miles Field, where the Indians try to stay perfect on the season. What do you look for the keys of the game here tonight, Mike?
Well, I think keys for St. Paul is what we saw last week, that defense stepping up, and also special teams. I think that's going to be a big difference maker. The defense last week had a couple pick sixes and several turnovers on defense. That defensive backfield really making a difference there as the teams started trying to throw the ball on the Indians, and they weren't going to have it. And also special teams continue what they're doing, get some good blocks, and allow those backs when they're getting the ball to put some points on the board on special teams. I think if they can do that and then just keep a good steady pace on offense, control the ball, should come out of here in pretty good shape tonight.
Let's see if Waverly tries to squib kick down the middle to keep it away from Albertini. Albertini back deep, stands about his own 10-yard line. Look for the return of Wilson Smith suited out. That's a good sign for the Indians, yep. Mike. Has a brace on his left knee, but I think last week Wilson could have played, but I think he stayed out just to make sure that he got that knee healed up. Had a strained MCL, I believe.
Yeah, Wilson, tough kid, played really well early in the year and then took that tough injury, but he came back from that and he did what he needed to do, get it healed up and get himself ready to play here as we go into the playoffs.
Oops, that's the wrong team. Adam Albertini's not kicking to himself. It's number 11 on the other team. Ty Pope has it teed up. It's going to be a kick, and it's going to go towards the out-of-bounds line. Dent diving for it. It goes, I believe, it is going now. He's reaching for his flag. Let's see what the call is. Dent dove for the ball towards the out-of-bounds line. Number 10 limping bad for Waverly over there on the sideline. Now they're going to mark it out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Good kick. And it's going to be Indians football to start out at their own 32-yard line. Good field position for the Indians to start this ball game, Mike.
Yeah, good deal for the Indians out here near midfield, so that'll give them some room to work.
Stone King comes up over the football. Bradshaw and Smith split slot to the left. In the pistol is Adam Albertini, as well as Dent is slot to the left. Look for the keeper. High snap. Albertini's going to keep, cuts up the middle, breaks tackle, drags him by the jersey, cut to the middle of the field, still on his feet.
Boy,
there he goes.
There we go, getting it
and
started.
He's drugged down.
Well, I didn't like the way he went down, though, on that first play.
Drugged down about the 17-yard line, just one man to beat. Adam comes down a little bit limpy, comes up as he was drugged down hard.
There.
And there is a flag drugged down.
Might get him for horse collar.
As Adam jogs, loses
lost his shoe.
I didn't even notice
Run barefooted, still got all the way
lost
down.
his shoe
there.
way back, and is that a horse collar, Mike?
I didn't see the signal.
And that is going to be a good way for someone to get injured.
It is.
That is why Adam come up pretty gimpy with a big saw that had it by the back of the neck. 15-yard penalty. It's going to be first and goal for the Indians. So good kickoff return by Albertini. Let's hope he can walk that off as Dent comes in from the sideline with the play. Albertini gets his shoe back on. 11:48 left to go here in the first quarter.
Clear down there on the 5, isn't it?
First and goal for the Indians. Ball at the 5-yard line of Waverly. I formation. Dent is at tailback. Bradshaw at fullback. Here comes the snap. Hand off to Dent. Left side. Right into the end zone he goes. And the Indians lead 6-0 early on against Waverly, pinning the extra point. That was a good hold to run through on the left side for Dent. Nobody there. 11:39 left to go in the first. Indians lead 6-0. 2 plays and a touchdown for the Indians on their opening drive.
Yeah, that's just what they needed to do. Ran 2 plays, got a score, strike quick, and really put the pressure on early and then just keep it going.
Pinning extra point. Albertini comes from the sideline. Coach Wattrick's birthday today, Mike. Happy birthday to Coach Wattrick.
This would be a good birthday present, get a win.
I'm sure what he wants for his birthday is a Indians victory. Albertini is in the pistol. 3 slot receivers to the right. Now motion, Bradshaw from right to left. Albertini's going to keep it off the left side, and he's in for the extra point. Extra point is good. And the Indians lead 8-0. 11:39 left to go in the first. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Miles Field here in St. Paul, where the Indians lead 8-0. 11:39 left to go in the first quarter. Nice run to start. The Indians started at their own 32, and a big run by Albertini, and then a horse collar penalty had the Indians first and goal at the Waverly 5 in one play, and Easton Dent runs it in off the left guard for the touchdown. Extra point was good by Albertini as Murillo has the ball teed up. Number 27 back deep for Waverly, and that is Lehman. They await the whistle here. And here comes a kick. Drive and kick by Murillo. Going to be taken about the goal line by Lehman. Starts up the middle of the field, now cuts to the right. Has a little running room. Bradshaw down there, misses the tackle, stays on his feet, and he's going to be brought down about the 26-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for Waverly. From their own 26. See where they spot it. It does appear to be right at
Hard to see the lines after that grass turns brown.
Bermuda Field's in great condition here.
It
As
is,
Mike
yeah.
alluded to, it's brown because it's gone dormant with the early cold weather, and it is hard to see the lines when you're looking down across the field, see them fine right in front of us. First and 10 for Waverly. Taking a long time in the huddle to start this game. One receiver out wide to the right. That is Ty Pope. I formation. Now motion from the running back, Lehman. Handoff off a left guard, and he's going to be tripped up for a short gain. Looks like Murillo in there quickly, as well as Stone King. Short gain on the play. A gain of 1.5 yards. Give him 2. Second down and 8. That was Lehman on the carry. Foster comes up under center, split back formation. Wilson to the left, Lehman to the right. Foster up under center. Here comes the snap. A little crossbuck action off the left side. Hit immediately. It's going to be lost.
Ball on the ground.
Ball's on the ground, and I think the Indians come up with it, and they do.
They do.
They get an early turnover. I think created, maybe Dent was in there. I don't know who recovered the fumble. Looks like maybe Chase Bradshaw comes off the bottom of the pile with the football. It'll be first and 10 for the Indians on an early turnover by Waverly.
That's what I talked about early on for one of the keys, get those defensive players in there causing some turnovers, and that's just what they did. Now they've ran 2 plays and scored. Come out here, 2 plays on defense, cause a turnover.
On the Waverly 25-yard line, so great opportunity for the Indians to jump on Waverly early here. Adam Albertini in the pistol. Set to his right is Easton Dent. Slot to the left is Chandler Bradshaw. Albertini awaits the snap. It's a good snap. He's going to run the option. He's going to keep it. Tries to get to the outside. He loses the football himself, and it's going to be recovered by Waverly as he gives it right back.
That's not what you wanted to do.
Ball comes loose from Albertini, so Waverly gets a break of their own, and the Indians give it right back to the Bulldogs.
It's an unusual mistake there by Albertini. I think that may be the first time I can remember him turning one over all season.
First and 10 for Waverly from their own 25-yard line. Back-to-back turnovers on each team. Gives it right back to Waverly. 10:43 left to go in the first. Indians lead 8-0. Waverly up to the line of scrimmage. Foster up under center. I formation. Lehman at fullback. Wilson at tailback. Fullback dive, and he's just buried at the line of scrimmage. Nice pad popping there by the Indians. Second down and 10 for Waverly, still pinned back at their own 25-yard line. Waverly on their second play of the game coughed the football up. Indians recover it, but on the first play from scrimmage, the next play from scrimmage for the Indians, Albertini off the left side gives it right back to Waverly. Second down and 10. Waverly breaks huddle. Foster comes up to the line of scrimmage in the pistol this time. One receiver wide to the right is Wilson. Lehman is behind. Foster going to run the option to the left. He keeps it, cuts back towards the middle, has some run room.
Ball's on the ground again.
And Waverly jumps on it. It's going to be a little bit short of the first down, but number 10, Wilson, was Johnny on the spot as that ball popped loose from Foster. It's going to be a third down, and let's call it 2. It's a short 2. The ball is now spotted about the 34-yard line of the Bulldogs. Third down and 2 for Waverly. 9:32 left to go in the first. Indians lead 8-0. I formation. Foster up under center. Lehman at fullback. Wilson at tailback. Handoff. No, he's going to keep it. Runs the option to Wilson. He spins away from one. He's going to be buried by Dent. Does he have first down? He's going to be right at the sticks. Let's see if they give him the spot. It'll either be fourth and short or first and 10. Let's see where the spot is.
They're going to move him.
And they are giving him a first down. First and 10 for Waverly, as Wilson just got enough for the first down. He spun away from Chase Bradshaw to get that first down. First and 10 for the Bulldogs. Now the ball spotted at their own 36-yard line. Number 11, Ty Pope, splits wide to the right. Wilson wide to the left. In the pistol is Foster. Back behind him is Lehman. He's going to look pump screen, and right across the middle has a man. He's wrapped up immediately by Adam Albertini. That is Wilson, brought down after a 3-yard gain. So a little pump fake, and then hits Wilson across the middle. Wilson comes up a little limpy. He got hurt on the opening kickoff for Waverly. Looked like maybe a little bit of an ankle injury. Give him a gain of 4, second down and 6 for the Bulldogs. Now the ball spotted right at midfield, the 40-yard line. Split back formation, Foster up under center. Lehman to the right, Wilson to the left. Wilson goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Foster right up the middle. He dives forward towards the sticks. It'll be third down and short as he gets down to the Indians' 36-yard line. Call it third down and 1 for the Bulldogs at the Indians' 36. 7:55 left to go here in the first period. 8-0 Indians lead. Waverly breaks huddle. Foster comes up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be up under center. Lehman's going to be the single back set behind him. 2 receivers wide to the right. It is Pope and Wilson. It's going to be handoff dive off the left side. He's going to get enough for the first down, but he's brought down. Short gain on the play, gain of about 1.5 yards, just enough for a first down. It'll be first and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Indians' 33-yard line. Clock running here, 7:26 left to go in the first. Indians had an opportunity. They created a turnover on Waverly, but on the first play from scrimmage, give it right back after the Indians had drove down on their open position and scored to start this ball game off. Wilson wide to the right. Foster is in the pistol this time. Set behind him is Lehman. Motion from right to the left. And now back to the right is Wilson. It's going to be a handoff to Foster off the left side. Has a little running room. Going to be brought down, but not until he gains about 5. And that is going to be Lehman on the carry for a gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5. They cross the 40 down to the Indian 29-yard line. Call it to 28 as Waverly methodically driving the football against the Indians here. Big second down and 5 for the Bulldogs at the Indians' 28.
Defense needs to step up here.
In the pistol, all by himself, is Foster. Bunch slot receivers to the right. It's going to be Foster around the right side. He's going to have some running room, and he's going to be brought down by Albertini. Stretches. He's going to have a first down to about the 17-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for Waverly from the Indians' 17. That's the Indians' look there.
Yeah.
Only it was Foster in the pistol instead of Albertini, and it's basically student body right. First and 10 for the Indians. Waverly. First and 10 for Waverly, excuse me, at the Indians' 17.5-yard line. 6:02 left to go here in the first period. Same set. In the pistol is Foster. 3 slot receivers to the right. Now motion from Wilson. It's going to be a handoff to Wilson, and, man, Gib Carter just missed him. Wilson cuts back. He's going to gain some short yardage on the play, but Gib Carter had a shot at him for a big loss and misses him. He's going to have a short gain of giving 1 on the play, second down and 9. Ball now at the Indians' 16. 5:32, the clock rolls along. You can tell Waverly in no hurry. They're methodically driving the ball, taking a lot of time in the huddle.
They're figuring the best way to defend Adam Albertini is keep the ball out of his hands.
Big second down and 9 for the Indians defense. In the I formation now, Foster up under center. Lehman at fullback, Wilson at tailback. Now Wilson goes in motion out to the right. Fullback dive, nope. Foster's going to keep it, cuts back to the center, has some running room. Albertini drags him down, but not until he's at the Indians' 6.5-yard line. Good cut by Foster. It's going to be third down. Nope, it's going to be first and
down.
goal for the Bulldogs from the Indians' 6-yard line. Stick only, first and goal from the 6 for the Bulldogs. Indians need to try to create a turnover or hold them out. 4:48 left to go in the first. 8-0, Indians lead. Waverly driving against the Indians defense. Up under center is Foster. Lehman at fullback, Wilson at tailback. Now Lehman goes in motion. Now a quick pass across the middle, touchdown. That was right to number 35. We don't have a number 35 on our roster.
Well, that was a quick hitter.
But it was quick out of the left-handed quarterback's hand. He just instantly threw it to the tight end, and Waverly gets on the board, and now the score is 8-6. That's almost a no-look pass because he just stood up and threw that right when he received the snap. In the pistol is Foster. Now motion by Lehman. Foster going to try it off the left side. Albertini gets in there quick, and he's down. An extra point is no good. 4:31 left to go in the first period. Indians lead 8-6 against the Bulldogs of Waverly as they make a much-needed methodical drive against the Indians defense. We'll go ahead and stay here. Good ball game here so far, Mike.
Yeah, pretty good ball game here. He's starting to get settled in there, and you can see Waverly's strategy starting to develop here. They're going to try and control the speed and tempo of the game, control the ball, run a ball control offense, just methodically try and drive down the field. And by doing that, going to try and keep St. Paul's powerful offense off the field, and did a pretty good job of it that time. They finally, once they got to moving, they put together a pretty nice drive and got down. And then that quick hitter pass, boy, that was really something. You know, St. Paul has played against some teams that's decided they like to try and throw the deep ball on them, but those little, that's the second time I think they threw that little screen across the middle, and that last one they just threw for the touchdown, like you mentioned, just kind of a no-look. As soon as the ball was snapped, he was tossing it across the line there, and it worked pretty well for him.
Diverse offense by Waverly, too, not just one person.
Right.
They spread it around between Lehman, Foster, Wilson, and then that little quick pass. We're going to have to try to figure out who that is, Mike. I got a number 25 on here. It's listed as a tight end. But a lot of size. They don't have the sizes here, but the tight end that was hit, he must be about 6'3 or 6'4.
Yeah, he's a pretty good-sized kid.
And Foster just zipped it to him after his left hand, right in for that touchdown. Albertini stands back at his own 17 again. I suspect that he won't even get close to this football.
No, they're not going to kick to him,
As
I don't
Ty
think.
Pope has the ball teed up for Waverly. Had a good kick last time towards the sideline. Dent had to dive for it. Here it comes again. Now it's onside kick to the right side. Goes over the head of the first guy, and the second guy just dives on it. That's Peyton Norris. Johnny on the spot dives on it there. Indians going to have good field position again. 1st and 10 from their own 37.
You see what they did there on that kick?
They switched kickers.
Yeah.
As Pope went up and faked it to the left, and then I didn't catch the number, but the opposite guy lined up, came and kicked it to the right.
Probably trying to confuse St. Paul a little bit with the hope and the opportunity, if they're squibbing it anyway, get someone to touch it, get a chance of falling back, getting the ball back.
In the pistol is Albertini. Set to his right is Easton Dent. Slot to the right is Chandler Bradshaw. Albertini awaits the snap. Here comes the snap. He's going to keep it off the right side. Dent is right there in the way.
Ball's on the ground again. I think they might have lost it.
That's his second turnover in a row by Albertini. Gives it right back to the Bulldogs. 4:23 left to go in the first. 8-6. Indians up by 2. Back-to-back turnovers on back-to-back carries by Albertini. Gives it right back to the Bulldogs. 1st and 10 for Waverly from the Indian 32.
Something we haven't seen all year. Pretty unusual.
Now, not that this have anything to do with it, Mike, but as it gets cooler, everybody starts wearing them sleeves on their arms, and you don't know if that's a factor, if it just simply got poked away from Albertini. Him and Dent collided in the backfield. That's a little odd that two seniors with that kind of chemistry would do that, but Dent was right in the way, and then Albertini was immediately wrapped up and loses it quick. Off the left side is Foster. A lot of running room by Foster. Going to have 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. They run it right at the Indians. It's going to be a gain of 7 down to the Indians' 26-yard line. 2nd down and 3 for Waverly. Let's call it 2nd and 4 for Waverly at the Indian 26 off of back-to-back turnovers by Adam Albertini and the Indians. Foster taking his time in the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage comes Waverly. Split back formation. To the right is Foster. To the left is Wilson, or Foster up under center. Lehman to the right. Pitch to Wilson, loses it on the ground. He dives back on it. He's going to be down at the 30. He's going to lose 3 on the play as they tried a quick pitch out around the left side. Waverly very young. Wilson is just a sophomore, as well as Foster, the quarterback, a sophomore, and Lehman is a junior. So all 3 underclassmen for the Bulldogs of Waverly. 3rd down and 7. Now the ball's spotted at the Indian 30-yard line. 3:17 left to go in the first. Indians cling to 8-6 lead. Pope splits out wide to the right, as well as Wilson. In the pistol is Foster. Set to his right is Lehman. Here's a snap. It's a good snap. He's pump fake's going to go deep. Has his man behind Albertini, and it's caught. And he's down at the 1 yard line. It's going to be first and goal. There's a flag back at the 31 yard line.
Yeah, it might be coming back.
Let's see. Let's hope it's coming back. And it is going to be holding against Waverly. Will negate a big play by Waverly. The Indians don't even see it. Now they all come back.
Boy, he had about a step or two on Albertini, and then Albertini got turned around looking for the ball, and really the receiver was able to create some separation. Made a nice catch there as he fell down.
So Indians are going to catch a break here off the holding penalty. The flag was thrown at the 30-yard line. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Bulldogs. Ball now spotted back at midfield. 3rd and 20. Let's call it 3rd and 19. As it actually is spotted back on Waverly's side of the field. 3rd and long for Waverly. We'll call it 3rd and about 18, maybe 19.
All right on the 40.
Wilson wide to the right in the pistol is Foster. Set to his right is Lehman. Now Wilson goes in motion from right to left. And now all reverse. Going to run the option. Going to run a little shovel pass to Wilson. He's going to be bottled up. You need to keep a hold of him. Do. And Murillo comes as Easton Dent holds him up. Albertini in on it. Ivan Murillo, and it's going to end up being a loss on the play off a little shovel pass on the inside to Wilson.
They're going to put it back there at the original line of scrimmage and calling forward progress. Looks like, I'm like you, I thought it was a loss, but
ball spotted right at the line of scrimmage. They may even gain a football gain of a football length. 4th down, and let's call it 17 for the Bulldogs. Indians just need to keep everybody in front of the sticks here. Get a little pressure on Foster as they're going to maybe call a timeout here as Foster is over at the sideline with the coach. It is a timeout. We're going to try to take a timeout here. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. We're going to go ahead and stay here. I think Cody's having a little trouble with the computer back there, Mike, so you're going to have to.
Well, we want to thank all of our sponsors again, and we'll take a minute during the timeout. We'll talk about what's going on in the field, but we also make sure to give a lot of credit to Farmers Bank stepping up, make sure we're able to bring this game to you, not only on the air, but the radio, but doing the live stream broadcast on the internet, so we appreciate that.
You bet. 4th down and 17 when Waverly comes out of the timeout. Back-to-back turnovers, rare turnovers against the Indians, Mike, against Adam Albertini. So I don't think we've seen 2 turnovers all year long on him, let alone back-to-back. So see if he can get that cleared up.
That's right. As a team, the Indians haven't had very many, and for sure as an individual player, Albertini, we haven't seen that all year long, especially back-to-back like that. But I think you're right. I think the combination of the weather and they've got those long sleeves on, and I'm not making excuses because it just happens, but it's a little bit different. And, it's something they may adjust to. We've seen players do that in the past. They start out trying to keep warm, decide it's not working for them. We're liable to see someone come out here later on with their sleeves cut off.
4th down, and I don't care what it takes, as long as we don't put the ball on the
That's
turf
right.
anymore. You can't really blame the weather. The football field's dry. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, that ball's just slick,
wet.
I think.
It's just slick because it's cold out, but it was cold last Thursday night too, but wasn't a problem for the Indians. In the pistol is Foster. They come out of the timeout. 3 bunch receivers to the right. 4th down and 17. Back to pass, looking across the middle. Has Wilson across the middle. Albertini comes up, cuts him down, and he's down. And he's going to be well short of the first down, so the Indians will take over on downs at their own 31-yard line.
Pretty well designed play, just wasn't enough.
A little slip screen to Wilson. Wilson's really walked off that ankle injury good. Has some speed back there, does Waverly. 1st and 10 for the Indians. On their 4th possession of the night, but they really haven't ran very many plays, Mike, because 2 turnovers in a row on the first play from scrimmage, the last 2 possessions after a great drive to start the ball game.
And they've eaten a lot of clock.
Late entry is Hayden Smith. 2 receivers wide to the left is Bradshaw and Smith. In the pistols, Albertini. Set to his right is Easton Dent. 2:03 left to go in the first. Dent goes in motion from right to left. Albertini's going to keep it. And he gets by the first guy, tries to get by the second. He's going to have a short gain of play. Gain of about 3, not very well blocked by the Indians. It's going to be a real short gain on the play, not 3. He's going to gain about 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9. Now ball up to the 32.5-yard line. As the clock stopped with Albertini goes out of bounds. 1:59 left to go in the first. Indians lead 8-6. Boy, nobody blocked this defensive end. I sure wish I had his number 35 out here, as he was right in the backfield. He missed Albertini. It would have been a huge loss if he would have got him. Slot receiver to the right is Bradshaw. Albertini in the pistol. Easton Dent set to his right. Hands it to Dent. A lot of running room off the left side. Dent dives forward towards the first down marker. Going to be a little bit short. Right at midfield. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 for the Indians as the ball spotted at midfield. They need to get to the Bulldog 39, that side of the football field, for a first down. Good run by Dent. 8-yard run by Dent. As the clock runs, 1:36 left to go in the first. 8-0, Indians lead. Murillo up to the line of scrimmage. Albertini in the pistol. Set to his right is Albertini. Same look as last time. Bradshaw slot to the right. Here comes the snap. And that's going to be a false start against Indians. Going to be 3rd down and 6 is a delayed snap. That's going to lose 5 yards. So the Indians lose everything they gain. It'll be 3rd down and 6 after the penalty.
Mental mistake there by the Indians. If you put those together with some turnovers, that can really cause you problems. They're going to have to fix that and fix it pretty quick.
Now the Indians backed up to their side of the field to the 35-yard line. 1:16 left to go in the first. 8-6. Indians lead by 2. Albertini in the pistol. Dent to the left. Bradshaw to the right. He's got it set in front of Albertini. Albertini's going to keep it. It's got some running room. He's going to have first down as he drags a couple Waverly Bulldogs across the 40 down towards the 35-yard line. Good hard run by Albertini. And I think we've lost our radio coverage, so stick with us on the live stream. And the pistol is Albertini's. 2 receivers wide to the right is Bradshaw and Smith. Easton Dent slot to the left. Dent goes in motion from left to right. Albertini takes the snap. He's going to keep it. Good block by Dent. Cuts back on Wilson. Now he falls down and get hit late as he got his feet tangled up in the turf, as Albertini might have been on his way to the end zone before he lost his footing. Good run by Albertini. Is going to be close to a 10-yard gain.
See where they spot it there. It's going to be off.
Oh, I see. There's a flag somewhere again. Now there's laundry on the field.
Come back.
Boy, it blends in so good with that Bermuda that's dormant.
Yeah.
I don't even see it. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty against the Indians.
It'll be a hold.
Holding against the Indians. It was spotted. The flag was about the Bulldog 36, so it's going to be a loss. It's going to bring up 1st and 17 for the Indians. The Indians back at their own 39 again. And back and forth we go on each side of the football field. Up under center this time is Albertini. Fullback is Chandler Bradshaw. Tailback is Easton Dent. Here comes the snap. Hand off to Dent off the left side. Has a little running room. Leans forward. Tripped up by Wilson. He's going to have a gain of about 6 on the play. It's going to bring 2nd down and 11 for the Indians. Ball at the Bulldog 36-yard line. And that's the end of the first quarter. St. Paul had a hard-fought game here so far. They lead 8-6. And I'd call for a timeout, but I don't think we have any reason to.
Uh-oh.
That's fine, buddy. Shut her down and start her over and see what happens. Everybody listening on the live stream, thanks a lot. It's 8-6, Indians lead as we try to get back up and running on the radio. We got a little computer problem back there at the radio station. 12 minutes on the clock. Man, it's been a good ball game. Indians drive right down the football field in 2 plays to start the ball game, and then Waverly turns it right back over to the Indians on their very second play from scrimmage. And then, lo and behold, Adam Albertini on back-to-back possessions, fumbles it on the next 2 offensive possessions for the Indians to give it right back to Waverly. And then Waverly methodically on their second possession drove the football down the field and scored against the Indians to bring the score to 8-6.
Yeah, this is something we haven't seen really all season either. Here we are starting the second quarter, and St. Paul's only got 8 points on the board. They've really piled up the points early and often earlier in the season, but like we said in the pregame, you're not playing just anyone. You're playing in the playoffs, and all these teams now is going to have some defense, some offense. You're going to have to fight for everything you get.
Second down and 11. The ball at Waverly's 36-yard line. Albertini spins to the right. Play action pass. Now he scrambles from right. Now back to left. Going to throw it late to Bradshaw, and it falls incomplete. All kinds of Waverly Bulldogs back, and it falls harmlessly incomplete. It was intended for Bradshaw, so it's going to be third down and 11. A first pass attempt by the Indians is unsuccessful.
Albertini took way too much time.
Now there's another flag on the play. Golly, I can't see them.
That's got to be a hold as long as he stood back there.
Against the Indians again. It's going to back them up again on their side of the field. It's going to be a loss of 10. It's going to be second down and 20. No, illegal man down field for the Indians. So it's just a 5-yard penalty. It'll be second down and 16 for the Indians. Ball spotted back across at the Indians.